everybody, thanks for joining me today. I love Halloween. It's one of my very favorite holidays and it's coming up soon. So I've got some really fun cookie ideas for you today. What I love about this is you can use one basic recipe for all these different ideas and they come out looking a lot of different ways. So let's get started. First I'm going to show you the spider web video. So here I've got a web done one way and I'm going to show you it one other different way. I'm using royal icing, which is made out of a meringue powder. And this is what I'm using. The directions are right on the back. Royal icing and color flow are basically the same thing, except they're royal icing is a little bit thicker. And you'll see a border made out of the royal icing, and you can see I'm just dropping it instead of trying to pipe the lime on there. It comes out a lot smoother that way. And you can see how thick this is. It's pipeable. Let's connect that. It's pipeable, and then the color flow icing is going to be a little bit thinner. All right, so let me show you this color flow. We're going to go with white in the interior, and you can see that this is quite a bit thinner. You can see it'll hold its shape for just a second, and then it'll fall out. So that's the consistency I'm going for. I don't want to overfill this. I'm going to leave my tip down in there and take it all the way out to the edges. It's really important once you start your color flow, like let's say I got this much of the cookie done, don't stop there because it'll create a seam. You want to go ahead and finish this. If there's some, like the doorbell ring, something like that, you want to just kind of finish working on this real quickly if you can and then go do that, because if you come back to it, there's definitely going to be a seam. Okay, so I've got my white all in here. I'm just going to use my tip to kind of spread that out a little bit. Don't want it too thick because I'm actually going to put another color in here. Okay, we're going to do black, and basically I can do concentric circles or a spiral. Okay, this time I'm going to do concentric circles. Okay, and just for fun, you could certainly do this like this. I'm going to leave a toothpick and just pull from the center out, and on this one you'll see that I alternated. I pulled out and then I pulled in, and then I pulled out and then I pulled in. So this one I'm just pulling out. Let me show you one other fun thing you can do with this cookie real quick. You want to make sure and do this while it's still moist, but you can put another color in here and it's just kind of extra fun for Halloween. So there's the green in there. We'll just go back and pull these again, and just from the center out, and it makes that really pretty web look. Now, I also have a spider cookie. Okay, there's the itty bitty cutter for that. I've got this spider already done. I'll put him here so you can see him. And I'm going to show you real quickly. You notice that on this one, I didn't make a border. I kind of let it fall down the sides. Let me just show you that real quickly right here. I just kind of took like a little tiny cup that I can set the cookie up on. And then that way you can go ahead and let that drip off, and it's not going to puddle around the edges. You're just going to let that all fall off, and it's going to be nice and fine. Okay, so I've got this cookie here that's already dried. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the shimmer gel, and I'm going to give him some creepy looking eyes because we want him to be scary. Red beady eyes on a spider are fantastic. All right, so since I've got that in my hand, I can go ahead and use a little dot. Once this cookie is dried, you want to make sure this icing fully dries, and you can just use a little dot to attach it, and then have like another cookie sitting on top of that cookie, and that one's really fun. Okay, the next fun cookie that I'm going to show you is this witch finger, and it's really creepy looking, but they're super yummy. This is again the same dough, the rollout cookie recipe that we have on the Sweetwise website, and I'm going to show you how to make it right now. The important thing is how you form it before you bake it. And you can certainly color your dough as well, like if you want a green dough or a purple dough, that looks like a creepy witch finger as well. This one I'm just going to leave plain for now. So I'm just going to take out a small amount, smaller than a ping pong ball, maybe the size of a large gum ball. And I'm just going to make it nice and smooth, and then I'm going to roll it flat, okay? And don't worry, your fingers are going to make like little indentions in here. Don't worry about that. That makes it even creepier, which is great. So I'm just going to start shaping this, and then like you would put it on your cookie sheet, okay? And take something sharp, a knife or the edge of a spoon, something like that. And if you look at your own finger where the joints are, that's where you want the joints. So one right in the middle there, and you're just kind of making hash marks, and then one over here, like right before the fingernail, and then you're going to smash the end down just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a red jelly. You can use red currant or a strawberry or a raspberry, something like that. This is just red currant, just a little bit much there. Just a little bit to make it stick. It kind of makes it look creepy right around the fingernail. And then you just want to take some slivered almonds. These have the skin on still. So sometimes they'll come beat up a little bit. So you want to get one that's nice and whole. And you'll just stick that right on there and it's ready to bake just like that. So once it comes out of the oven, you'll see they look kind of like this. And what I've done here is I've taken a little bit of a lavender hued color powder. You can certainly use cocoa at home, but if it looks a little too clean and perfect, then it doesn't look quite as authentic. So this makes it a little bit more fun. And again, if you just want to do cocoa powder in there, that'll work just as well. But I like the purple in there as well. So that's the witch finger cookie. And now I'm going to show you how to do the mummy cookie. This one's a lot of fun. We're going to work on the eyeballs first. Okay, so these are little gummy candies. There's a logo on one side, so I want to work with the smooth side. Basically what I did is I took some black jelly beans and I cut them in half. Okay, so you can see those there. And what I like to do is from the logo side, I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to take my half a jelly bean and the rounded side I'm going to push down in there so that your eyeball looks just like that. Really easy to do. It's going to stay in there really nicely. Okay, so now we've got our eyeballs made. Basically what I did is I started with this cookie. I just did the black border and filled in with black, just like I showed you on the spiderweb cookie. Thought I'd save some time doing that. And then I just attached these with a little bit more royal icing. I have another cookie here. I'm going to show you how to lay these on there. But if you wanted to do this in white also, this would look great just as an eyeball cookie itself. So that would be just with a white background. So that's another idea. So let's go ahead and show you the mummy cookie. So what I've got here is just some rolled out white fondant. Again, went ahead and saved some time with that. And I'm just going to take a circular blade, okay, and I'm just going to start cutting strips. And they don't have to be straight and they don't have to be the same length, but I'll give you a hint. The wider you make them, the less work you're going to be doing, okay? So we'll go ahead and start with those. And I don't mind if it tears and leaves a little bit of a jagged edge. That actually makes it look a little bit cuter. So we're just going to lay these on here. This is moist enough that it's going to stick to the cookie nicely. And you're just going to start layering and layering and layering until the entire cookie is covered to your liking. And if you have one, like say these are a little bit longer here, you can go ahead and cut those off around with the same blade, just so it's nice and easy to pick up. But you're just going to keep layering it and crisscross a little bit. And we'll do one more up top here. Really the crisscrosses really help give a nice effect to that. All right, so just give a little push so those all stay together a little bit. And then again, just kind of finishing it off, I'm just going to take my blade around the edge, cut off that excess, and that's ready to go. Now this would look just as great on a cupcake. So let's say you put the black or even some chocolate icing on top of a cupcake and then put your eyeballs down on that and then the same fondant strips on that. It would look really just as great as a cupcake. Okay, the last cookie I'm going to show you today is Frankenstein. He's really cute and he uses the same method as the other cookies. I just made a border and then filled in with a green color flow icing. And I let that dry. Oh, it's been drying about an hour or two. Not dry enough to go ahead and carry or wrap, but certainly dry enough to go ahead and put the decorations on top of. So this fondant that I had rolled out for the mummy, I went ahead and cut out a couple of eyes. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach those. About a third of the way down, just one little dot of royal icing, and then attach a second eye there, and then I'll go ahead and I'm going to make him a little bit dizzy. His eyes are going to be looking in a couple different directions here. Okay, and I'm piping this upside down. Now I'm going to go ahead and give him a mouth, all right, and it's going to be a little bit kind of like a monster mouth, kind of crooked. But he's a happy monster. He's just a little bit dizzy, okay? And then we can go ahead and give him a little bit of a nose. Try to make this kind of small, but it's just kind of upside down mushroom shape, if you will. Simple enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my tip. And again, this is black royal icing that I'm piping on top of the color flow. So I'm just switching to a number 16 tip. To give it, this is the hair, okay? So I'm just gonna pull and kind of make little peaks of shape Going all the way across, kind of different lengths there. And then a couple on a second layer, a little bit shorter, kind of sticking up a little bit, just to give it a little bit of depth. And you can also pull down, give them little sideburns if you want to. If you want to go to the trouble of doing the little side things here that go in the neck, you can certainly attach a little jelly bean there. That would be adorable. Okay, last one. And there is the Frankenstein cookie. So here's the finished assortment of cookies. I think they're all really cute. They come from the same recipe. It's the rollout cookie recipe on sweetwise.com. I hope you give them a try. They're a lot of fun. They're really easy. Thanks for watching.